So this diagram summarizes in the left side, chapter 5, production, and in the left side, costs curves. So in upper two graphs, total product and total cost. In the lower two graphs, per unit measurement. So when marginal cost or average, when marginal product and average product increases, the cost, average total cost, average variable cost, marginal cost decreases. So marginal product and average product takes the shape of the letter N, while per unit costs curves, marginal cost, average total cost, average variable cost, take the shape of the letter U. The inflection point on total product or on total cost is important because it determined the maximum point of marginal product and it determined the minimum point of marginal cost. So do you have any, total product, units of output. Here, units of labor. Here, dollars. And in the horizontal, quantity, units of output, similar to total product, units of output. So hopefully you understand the behavior when I say the behavior of total product. First stage, second stage, third stage. In the first stage, total product increases at an increasing rate because of specialization and division of labor. In the second stage of production, total product increases at a decreasing rate because of the law of diminishing marginal returns. In the third stage of production, total product increases because of inappropriate balance between fixed inputs capital and variable inputs labor. So this is a summary of both chapters. Hopefully you understand them. So here important terms and equations, and after the attendance I will answer very important question. What is the optimal level of output? How many kilos of tomatoes should be produced by Khalid in which he can maximize his profit? So output decisions. So we will consider total revenue, total cost, or we will review marginal revenue and marginal cost in order to determine the profit maximizing level of output or the optimal level or the base level of output which can maximize profit. So there is nothing new in this slide because I explain it in chapter 5. So panel A from chapter 3, demand, supply, and market equilibrium. The intersection between market demand and market supply determines the equilibrium point. From the equilibrium point, the price per kilo of tomatoes, 5 dirhams. And let's go to a representative firm, a producer or seller in tomatoes market, such as Khalid. So Khalid is a price taker. He accepts the equilibrium price. He can sell his 10 boxes or even 20 boxes at the equilibrium price. If he increases the price by 10 fils, the quantity demanded will drop to zero. Nobody will purchase tomatoes from him. Why? Because there are so many producers of or sellers of tomatoes selling the same tomatoes. So a representative firm in perfect competition market facing a demand curve which is a straight line parallel to the quantity axis, and this demand curve is called perfectly elastic. And also this curve is called marginal revenue. So equilibrium of price equals 5 and equals marginal revenue. What is marginal revenue? The increase in total revenue due to increase in output by 1 unit. So if Khalid sold additional kilo of tomatoes, he will sell it at 5 dirhams. So the increase in total revenue equals 5, which is called marginal revenue. So keep in your mind, this curve is called marginal revenue. This curve is called marginal revenue at equilibrium of price. So what is total revenue? Let me see. Maryam Omar. مريم العلي.
نعم دكتور.
مريم العلي كيف حالك؟
الحمد لله دكتور.
الحمد لله عساكي بالخير. Could you read total revenue?
دكتور بس الشاشة مش واضحة عندي.
مش واضحة عندك. أوكي لا بأس في ذلك.
آسفة دكتور.
لا بأس في ذلك. انزين. ميرا سيف. عالية المهيري.
أستاذ ميرا.
ميرا سيف كيف حالك ميرا؟
الحمد لله أستاذ.
read total revenue.
Total revenue, the total amount that a firm take in from the sale of its product, the price per unit time, the quantity of output the firm decide to produce.
Okay, so assume Khalid produced and sold 10 kilos of tomatoes. He sold each kilo at 5 dirhams. So what is his total revenue or his market value of his sales? 5 times 10 equals 50. So this is total revenue. So Khalid sold tomatoes worth of 50 dirhams. This is called total revenue. What is marginal revenue with Mira? Mira, just a moment, let me show something. Now it's better. Now it's better. I can see the number of the slide. Yes, marginal revenue, Mira.
Marginal revenue, the additional revenue that a firm taken when it increase output by one additional unit in perfect competition.
The price equals marginal revenue. See here, I just calculated total revenue equals 50, 5 times 10. If he decided to produce additional kilo, what will be total revenue? So 5 times 11, which is equal 55. So what is marginal revenue? The increase in total revenue. 55 minus 50 equals 5. So marginal revenue, which is the change or increase in total revenue due to producing additional unit of output, equals always the equilibrium of price in perfect competition market. So we need this information when we answer a calculation question, which is very important in calculation file. So now what I'm going to do, how to determine the profit maximizing level of output. What is the base level of output? So what we did, the intersection between market demand and market supply determine equilibrium price at 5. So my concern is about Khalid, who has a farm, produces tomatoes. He is a representative firm operating in perfect competition market. So he is a price taker. So he sells his quantity, whatever the level of output, at 5 dirhams per kilo. So 5 is the equilibrium price or marginal revenue. So the price, equilibrium price, equals marginal revenue equals 5. And I add marginal cost. So in calculation question, I added average total cost, average variable cost. So then we can calculate many indicators such as the profit. So I love this program. Let me go to this program. So what I will do here, let me change this to, for example, 100, and here I will put 10. Okay. No. So here 100, here 10. So I make the quantity larger. Okay. So what else? I will put in here, I will put the symbol of dirhams. The symbol of this is dirhams. So I will put here dirhams, and I will put here quantity produced. So I will say quantity. Okay. So first of all, let's say the equilibrium price is 5. So the equilibrium price 5, this is marginal revenue. Let me see whether I can add marginal revenue. So this is marginal revenue. And now I need to add this is marginal cost. Let's see whether I can add it's difficult to catch it. I cannot type. Yes, marginal cost. Okay, now it's perfect. So see here, what is the optimal level of output? Let me make it here. Okay. Okay. So see here, what is the base level of output? The base level of output is, I cannot control the quantity, sorry. Okay. So now almost everything is done. What is the optimal level of output? It is 70 units. So Khalid should produce 70 units to maximize his profit. At this dot, equilibrium price 5, equilibrium price 5 equals marginal revenue equals, sorry. So at the intersection point between marginal revenue and marginal cost, equilibrium price equals marginal revenue equals marginal cost. So here we will get maximum profit. What about if we are here, if we are producing 60 units? At 60, marginal revenue exceeds marginal cost. What is marginal revenue? The increase in total revenue due to increase output by 1 unit. What is marginal cost? It is the increase in total cost due to increase in output by 1 unit. So Khalid will think if he's going to produce additional kilo, the increase in total revenue will be higher than the increase in total cost. So the profit is the difference between total revenue and total cost. Since the increase in total revenue more than the increase in total cost, so the profit will increase. So what is the conclusion? As long as marginal revenue exceeds marginal cost, Khalid or a representative firm should increase output, Let's select another dot. So at this dot, marginal cost is more than marginal revenue. If he produces this kilo of tomatoes, what will happen? The increase in total revenue will be more than the increase in total revenue will be less than the increase in total cost. Or in other words, the increase in total cost will be more than the increase in total revenue. So the profit will decrease. So it's better not to produce this kilo. So what is the conclusion? As long as marginal cost exceeds marginal revenue, the producer should decrease output. So 70 is the optimal level of output. What is the equilibrium point? The equilibrium price equals marginal revenue equals marginal cost at this dot. This is the equilibrium point to determine optimal level of output. If marginal revenue more than marginal cost, it's better to increase output because profit will increase. We will continue increasing till we reach equilibrium point. If marginal cost, that means, what is marginal cost? The cost of last kilo more than the revenue of last kilo. So the profit will decrease. It's better to decrease output till we get optimal level of output at 70. So again, let me come back to this diagram. So from this diagram, let me ask you this question. According to my explanation from panel B, what is the optimal level of output in which equilibrium price equals marginal revenue equals marginal cost? What is the equilibrium? What is the optimal level of output? What is the profit maximizing level of output? وين الشطر؟ ميار، انصاف، عويس، ميرا. وين الشطر؟ What is the profit maximizing level of output? How many kilos of tomatoes should be produced? 100, 250, 300, 340 to maximize the profit. How many units should be produced to maximize the profit? The answer is 300. Why 300? Because at 300, equilibrium price equals marginal revenue equals marginal cost. At 250, marginal revenue exceeds marginal cost, so it's better to increase output. If marginal cost exceeds marginal revenue, it's better to decrease output. So at 300, 300 is the optimal level which maximizes the profit. This is what I said. This is a summary of my explanation. So if you see here, a profit will be a maximum if we produce 4 units. So if we produce 4 units, the profit will reach its maximum. So in which marginal revenue equals marginal cost equal marginal revenue. Okay, so hopefully you be familiar with such a graph. You will see similar to this graph in the final exam. The matter is quite easy. Let me ask Mira, Saif, could you read the question? Mira?
Yes. How many units does the firm produce to maximize its profit if the equilibrium market price is 9 dirham?
Okay, see here, this is 9 dirhams. So the equilibrium price, 9 dirhams. And these curves incurred by Khalid, who produces tomatoes. How many kilos of tomatoes should be produced to maximize the profit? So from 9, draw a horizontal line. This line is called marginal revenue. Look at a point in which marginal revenue equals marginal cost. I think at this dot. So if the equilibrium price 9, the optimal level of output is 14. Why? Because equilibrium price equals marginal revenue equals marginal cost at this dot. So the optimal level of output is 14. Let me change the question. Let me change the question. Mira, could you read the question?
How many units does the frame produce to maximize its profit if the equilibrium market price is 9 dirham?
Okay, so again, it's 9 dirham. From 9, draw horizontal line, which represents marginal revenue. In perfect competition market, equilibrium price equals marginal revenue. Look at a dot in which marginal revenue equals marginal cost. So accordingly, what is the optimal level of output? What is the profit maximizing level of output?
28.
What's your name?
Mira.
Well done, Mira. So as Mira said, 28. Who couldn't reach to 28? Who couldn't reach to 28? So it's quite simple. Look at the equilibrium price. You draw a horizontal line. It intersects marginal cost at this point. So go down, read the quantity, the optimal level of output, 28. This is quite simple. This is quite simple. What I explained till this moment, the intersection between market demand and market supply determines the equilibrium point, and the equilibrium price 5. Let's go to Khalid, a representative firm in perfect competition market. If the equilibrium price 5, draw a line which is called marginal revenue. Look at a dot in which marginal revenue equals marginal cost at this dot. So the optimal level of output 300. Assume our income increases and accordingly demand will increase. So if demand increases, the equilibrium price will increase to 6. So since Khalid is a price taker, he accepts 6 dirhams. So what is the optimal level of output? If the price 6, so from 6 again, draw horizontal line. This is the new marginal revenue. So the marginal revenue becomes 6. The intersection with marginal cost tells me that the optimal level of output 350. Assume we discovered new seeds. Assume our preferences improved. We love consuming more tomatoes. That will increase demand. The increase in demand will shift equilibrium point to a new equilibrium point. So the equilibrium price 7. So at 7, what is the optimal level of output? It is 400. So see here, as the price increases, a quantity produced or a quantity supplied increases. So the rising portion of marginal cost, the rising portion starting from the minimum point of average total cost, go up from the minimum point of average total cost along the rising portion of marginal cost represents short-run supply curve. If you remember chapter 3, supply curve represents positive relationship between quantity supplied and its price. So if you remember what I said when I explained supply curve, I said the cost of last kilos are behind the supply curve.